When it comes to ingredients, using fresh chow mein noodles are the best for this dish. Or if you don't have that on hand and can't find any at the grocery store that day, you can use wonton noodles, egg noodles, or even instant noodles. Just follow the cooking instructions from the package. I love using colorful, vibrant vegetables in my chow mein. So for this dish, I'll be using cabbage, carrots, and green onions, but feel free to add in your favorite vegetables. Let's start off with the ingredients I'll be using. Here is the chow mein noodles that I got from the grocery store today. It will say on the package, chow mein noodles. You can find this noodle in most of your nearby grocery stores. If you can't find any, there's also other substitutions that I mentioned before, like you can use egg noodles, wonton noodles, or even instant noodles. Sometimes I just use instant noodles as a last-minute resort. Next, I have chicken breast. I'm using a lean protein for this because chow mein noodles should be I'm trying to make it a healthy dish because my girls love to eat noodles, and by using chicken breast, it's leaner and a little bit healthier. Okay, so this is green onions. I have about 4 or 5 stalk, 1 whole carrot, and cabbage. This is the Napa cabbage that I have here. I love Napa cabbage. It's one of my favorite vegetables. And the seasoning here, I have baking soda, white pepper, and sugar. Oyster sauce, and you can pretty much find oyster sauce everywhere now, especially in the Asian supermarket. Light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, and finally sesame oil. Okay, so this is all the ingredients you need, not too much. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Let's start prepping our ingredients. First, I have the carrot. I like to use the bigger part so I can cut thinly into a rectangle shape, line them all up, and so it's easier for you to cut it into thinly strips. About a 1/4 cup of thinly cut carrots, then for the green onions, 4 stalks of green onions, scallions diced and green part cut 1 inch long thinly. I would cut off the root first, line them up, and as you can see, I like to cut the part where it ends, where the white gets to the greener part. So that's the scallion part, right? Cut that out and diced up the scallion, put it aside. And as for the green onion part, line them up, and just slice it down in the middle. Split them in halves or thinly slice long strips. So be careful when you cut it. Line them flat and just slice it down the middle. Next we have the cabbage. Half a cup of Napa cabbage thinly chopped. Here I'll only have to use half. Save the other half for another stir fry. I normally use the other half for either in a soup that I'm making or just another stir fry that whatever I have left over from a previous night. So it's good to have it on hand. Cut that in, so for the cabbage, cut that in half and just slice it as thinly. I like to cut all my vegetables the same size, so when you stir fry, it cooks evenly. Once you're done, I will have it in a strainer and rinse that out in the sink. After all your vegetables are prepped, put it on a plate and set aside. Now I'll show you how to cut the chicken breast. 8-ounce chicken breast sliced thinly. First, I will have one laying flat down. I like to slice it 3 times through. Okay, so that's the first slice. Set aside. And for the top part, I'll slice it through again. Press it flat, just use a sharp knife and just slowly slice it through the middle. Once you're done, line them on top of each other and cut it in strips. Once you have your chicken all cut up, put it in a plate or a bowl and we'll have it ready to marinate. For the marinade, I have light soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of white pepper, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and a drizzle of sesame oil. And don't forget about the baking soda. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. That is the secret ingredient. I use this so it can soften the chicken and make it really tender. That is my secret. Now you know. Once you have mixed it through, saran wrap and put it in the fridge. I'll refrigerate it for at least 45 minutes to an hour. This is the stir-fry sauce for the noodles. 1.5 tablespoons of oyster sauce. 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. And just a pinch of sugar. Mix well and set aside. Okay, so that's all the prepping that we're doing for our ingredients, and I will see you in the next video. Let's cook. In a pot or a wok, I have some hot water and would like to pre-boil the noodles. I'm using my Chow Mein noodles and I'm just gonna boil it for about a minute. If you're using other noodles, just follow the instructions on the package. After the noodles are boiled, bring it over to the sink and strain out the water. Leave it on. Try to shake out all the excess water and leave it on the side. Have a wok or a pan ready, drizzle some oil and turn up to high heat. You want to have the wok extremely on high heat to pan fry the noodles. Add in a good amount of oil and turn on high heat. I want a sear on the noodles. I like to add this extra step because the noodles are pan fried so that they are brown just slightly and the noodles are crispy to eat, to give out a different texture for a much yummier chow mein. This chow mein noodles absorbs a lot of oil, so if you see that it's getting pretty dry, just drizzle a little bit more. Have a plate ready and put the noodles aside. Use the same wok or pan and start to stir fry the carrots first. The carrots takes a little bit longer to cook, so I would cook that first. Just a few minutes, stir it in the wok and also have it on high heat. Then add in the cabbage, and the green onions. You'll just need to cook it for a few minutes. After that, put it on a plate and set aside. Okay, so now we're gonna start stir frying the chicken. Let it pan fry for a little bit before stirring it around. Cook the chicken until you don't see rawness anymore. Then add in the vegetables. After a couple minutes, I would add in the noodles. Just spread it around and use a tongs to mix the noodles well. Spread the noodles apart and add in the stir-fry sauce that you have prepared earlier. When you're stir frying the noodles, I find that I like my noodles a little bit more golden brown. By doing so, you just have to add in a little bit extra of the dark soy sauce. It's your own personal preference. I like mine a little bit golden brown. So if you're stir frying and you find that your noodles are still the lighter side, then I would just add a little bit more of the dark soy sauce and mix well together. Just be a few more minutes. When I'm cooking, I always like to give it a little bit of a taste test in between to see how the flavor is, and if you need to add a little bit more like soy sauce or oyster sauce, you're welcome to do so. Okay, so about 5 minutes, after a few minutes, don't forget to add the scallions. Mix it all up. Okay, there you go. Scoop it onto a plate, and there you have it. Doesn't that look delicious? I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video for my final thoughts and some key reminders. You can have it with hot chili oil or with sriracha. It goes really delicious with it.
I want to try this.
You're gonna have sriracha? Okay, let's see.
I'm just going to have a little bit. A few cracks.
Okay.
Mix it first. Okay, let's try. What?
How is it?
It's delicious.
It's delicious? How about Coco? Do you think it's delicious? Yeah? Okay, say bye-bye. See you next time.
Bye-bye. See you next time, alligator.
Hi, so there you have it. And this is my version of the chicken chow mein. Okay? As you can see, my daughters are loving it. They love chow mein, and it's the most easiest and simple and quick recipe to do on a weekday when you don't really have time to make dinner. Okay, so here is some of the few key reminders that I want to point out. So number one is, when you start making this, I would start marinate the chicken first. And the secret ingredient for marinating the tender chicken is baking soda. So baking soda tenderizes the chicken, and when you marinate it, when you put all the ingredients together, marinate it and put it in the fridge, the baking soda tenderizes the meat. So when you stir fry it, it's not dry and it's not tough to chew. Okay? I like to freeze my chicken breast for about 35 minutes, 40 minutes, so when I slice into it, it's easier to get the thickness or the thinness I want. It's all up to you. You don't have to do it. It's just for any meat, for me, if I want to get a thin slice, I always freeze it for about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how thick the meat is. So when you slice into it, you get a better cut. And secondly, the noodles, I like to stir fry the noodles first in a very high heat, just to get it brown and crispy. You don't have to do that, but it's just an extra step to make the noodles, to give that noodles more the extra flavor and that a little bit of crunch. Okay, so turn it on high heat with lots of oil, stir fry until it's like a little bit golden brown. Take it out, put it aside, and then start cooking your vegetables and then your meat and adding everything else together. So like I said before, this dish is so versatile. You can add any type of meat, you can add any type of vegetables, as long as the flavor, like the marinade that you just follow from my recipe, it will go perfectly well with either chicken or shrimp or just a vegetable chow mein for any of you that is vegetarian. It works really good too. I just add a lot more vegetables to it, right? For the chicken, I like to cut it in small pieces, so when you stir fry in high heat, it cooks really fast. So once you have the chicken cooked, put in the vegetables and the noodles, drizzle with the sauce, the marinade sauce that I've taught you, and there you have it. And there you have it. It's like the most easy, simple chow mein noodles that you'll ever make. I hope you can make this for dinner tonight. Take some pictures, pull up on the gallery board. I would love to see your work. And please give me a comment and let me know how you like this recipe. Thanks for watching, and let's cook again together next time. Okay? Bye!